So wait, are you telling me that people are actually curious as to why Jagmeet Singh is sending mixed signals about whether or not he wants Justin Trudeau really out?
Just to clarify, you're calling for him to resign, but you are not willing to vote no confidence in his government? How do those two things connect?
All options are on the table.
That's not an answer.
All options.
That's not.
It's like somebody screaming, "Get out of my house," but what time are you coming to bed?
Just to clarify, you're calling for him to resign, but you are not willing to vote no confidence in his government? How do those two things connect?
So Chrystia Freeland resigned.
You're fired. There's the door.
Yes, her sudden departure did kind of come out of nowhere, especially given the fact that hours before, on that very same day, she was supposed to be given the financial breakdown of the budget. Needless to say, it was a mess.
Think of this. The moment the finance minister resigned, the government's published order of precedent meant that François-Philippe Champagne instantaneously became the finance minister. But now he tells us he doesn't have the job and doesn't want the job. So it goes to the next minister who's on the published order of precedent, and that is Randy Boissonnault, more commonly known as the two Randys, the gentleman who had to resign because he falsely claimed he was Indigenous, falsely claimed that there were more than one Randy when it was all him and all in his head. And he is now technically our finance minister as we speak.
In all honesty, I've heard a lot of things in the last couple of days. I even heard something I never thought I'd hear, ever.
Jean Chrétien's former chief of staff witnessed a previous power struggle between Chrétien and Paul Martin. It's why Eddie Goldenberg believes Liberals should rally behind Chrystia Freeland.
Rally behind her to do what exactly? You need to be specific, because I know you don't mean what I think you mean. Here's the thing. She retired. She went out honorably. She was thinking about the people for the most part. Leave it at that.
Freeland, especially as Donald Trump prepares to retake the Oval Office.
All the premiers, after she left, said that she was the one that they really needed as Captain Canada.
Yes, and it almost seems like if there's some kind of roadblock preventing that from happening in Canadian politics. Yes, so when Chrystia Freeland resigned, the reporters actually had it right when they were pressing him to actually give a definitive answer. If you're calling for Justin Trudeau to resign, how is it that you won't give a clear answer on if you'd support a vote of non-confidence?
Will you declare no confidence in the Liberal government as soon as possible?
All tools, all options are on the table. People are hurting. People are struggling. And so all options are on the table.
Just to clarify, you're calling for him to resign, but you are not willing to vote no confidence in his government? How do those two things connect?
All options are on the table.
That's not an answer.
All options.
That's not an answer.
What does this mean for your support with the Liberals, though? How can you say he needs to resign, but then you're not telling us what you're going to do for non-confidence?
Telling you that all options are on the table.
Right.
Will you support the Fez? And also, are you willing to continue to support the Liberals if there is a different leader aside from Trudeau?
Right now, that's not in front of us. There's no votes in front of us, but we will take each vote. And right now, literally, everything's on the table. Go ahead.
Saying, Mr. Singh, that all options are on the table. So why are you holding out the option to still support this government? I understand that you're saying that you might, trigger a confidence vote, but why are you still holding out the option? What is the glimmer of hope that you're seeing to possibly support the Fez or possibly support this government in some other way?
Depends on the votes.
So when people say that he's giving mixed signals, it's because he's the roadblock. He's the one that could actually put it through with the vote of no confidence. It's very clear to every Canadian that based on all the infighting, based on all the scuffling, that Justin Trudeau does actually need to take a step back.
Damn!
Especially given the incoming presidency of Donald Trump, you need someone else to be in charge with a clear head. So the other day, Jagmeet did a sit-down to answer some questions.
Well, let's bring in NDP leader Jagmeet Singh. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Listen, you say the Prime Minister has to resign. You said, in fact, that he has to go. He's already said he's not going to do that. And he's shown that very clearly over this last few weeks, or the last few days. So how do you explain to Canadians that while you say you want him out, that he's not good for Canada, but you won't act on that and commit to a vote of non-confidence?
Well, everything's on the table, we've said, but it's been clear, given that we've got the threats of tariffs from Trump, that puts a lot of workers in Canada saying, will I lose my job? We know that people are having a really hard time buying groceries, just the basic essentials.
Sure.
And we got people that are saying, I can't find a home, my bills are up. Given all of that, we've got a Prime Minister that's more focused on fighting his own party than fighting for Canadians. It's clear that he's got to go.
Right. But you're the one who can make that happen. So why not commit to a vote that would see an election in this country?
Well, I've said that everything's on the table. So all options are on the table. What I'm focused on right now is saying he's got to go. And we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
You're talking about Canadians being concerned about affordability, but the most recent polls show that most of them want an election. So if you have the power to make that happen for Canadians, and you're acting in the best interest of Canadians. Isn't that what they actually want?
Well, there's going to be an election this year, 2025.
Sure,
next
but
year.
October is the scheduled date. That's a long way off.
It could happen any time in 2025. We're in a minority government, so we'll keep all options open. But let's be clear, there's going to be an election in 2025. Absolutely guaranteed there will be an election. And people will have a tough choice to make.
So, Rachel, why is he not being definitive here? And as for his own MPs, will they all keep up the pressure over the holidays?
Yeah, so what really struck me about Singh's comments today is his argument for why he is not committing to vote non-confidence and bring down the government, who's currently being led by someone who he thinks should resign, is, he says, because he doesn't want to box himself in. Now, Singh's argument here is, should, after Trump's inauguration, January 20th, the House of Commons need to be in a position come January 27th, when they're supposed to resume, to vote on some sort of retaliatory tariff or other sort of Trump response measure.
Now, I can't read the mind of every person in North America, but I'm pretty sure that if you were to ask Canadians, what is it that you really want, and give them a list of options, I'm almost 100% sure election right now would be at the top of the list. Yes, 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 of course it would naturally be followed by affordable groceries, affordable living, but just based on the polling I've seen, I think the one thing all of them would want in unison is get that guy out of office.
Now he's a philosophizer.
So since you are the proverbial wall that could call for a vote of non-confidence, just stop playing fast and loose with your words. Or is there another reason why you won't commit to it? Speculation, but let's just see. What is it that you guys think? Do you think Jagmeet is actually doing the right thing, making the smart decision, playing the long game even, and doing what's best for Canadians? Or do you think, no, there's a completely different reason in February or March as to why he doesn't want to call for non-confidence? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.